This is a Transportation TV News update. I'm Tony Dorsey reporting. During a tumultuous week that included the temporary shutdown of federal highway and transit programs, on Thursday, March 4, 2010, the House of Representatives voted 217 to 201 to approve HIRE, or the Hiring Incentives to Restore Employment Act, the Senate's $15 billion jobs bill. But approval didn't come without a contentious debate.
And that the bill before us isn't a clean extension of SAFE-TLU highway and transit programs, but includes new policies that would continue the program on the current road to ruin.
This will give certainty to the men and women who are dealing with our transportation systems, roads, bridges, transit, the whole range.
The House approved the bill with a change in some of the tax provisions in the Senate bill, making it compliant with House pay-as-you-go rules. It also continues provisions in SAFE-TLU that direct some transportation funding to small minority-owned businesses, addressing concerns by the Congressional Black Caucus. HIRE extends highway and transit funding through December 31, 2010, transfers approximately $20 billion from the general fund to keep the Highway Trust Fund solvent, and expands the Build America Bonds program, allowing states and local governments to borrow at lower costs to finance infrastructure projects. The measure is now headed back to the Senate for final approval. As the House took its vote Thursday, leaders in the Senate were working on the second of its promised jobs bills, a $150 billion package that includes additional tax breaks for businesses and longer-term extensions of benefits for laid-off workers. The Senate began the week embroiled in controversy, passing late Tuesday a 30-day extension of highway and transit funding that was signed into law by President Obama that same day. The fix came after a weekend of worry as a short-term extension of the nation's highway and transit programs ended Sunday, February 28th, when neither the House nor the Senate were able to move extensions. Effective Monday, $157 million in reimbursement payments to states for highway construction projects were curtailed, and nearly 2,300 federal U.S. DOT and some transportation-related Bureau of Indian Affairs workers had to be furloughed without pay. The FHWA held an emergency teleconference Monday with state DOTs to explain what the shutdown meant to them. AASHTO's Annual Washington Briefing activities were briefly curtailed so that the states could participate.
Last Friday, all of the states accomplished 100% of their Recovery Act obligations. So that was a major victory for all of us, and I do want to thank all the states for being on top of their game and really being able to meet that deadline. And so we were really happy about that, but unfortunately it got overshadowed by the fact that we actually had to invoke a furlough for about, within Federal Highways Administration, about 1,350 employees. Somewhere between 30 to 40 projects actually were shut down. The BIA, as a recipient of federal highway trust funds, actually had to furlough about 300 employees of their own for a couple of days. So, you know, there was a major impact that rippled out throughout the entire nation.
At a news conference following the call, nearly 24 state transportation leaders spoke out about the impacts of the shutdown to their states.
Today, there's a lot of uncertainty about the program, about our future, and the people that provide that service.
This, the 9th Street Bridge project in Washington, D.C., just one of the dozens shut down on Monday.
It requires federal oversight and inspection due to the fact that it's over CSX rail lines, Amtrak rail lines, and so on. We're working on it in partnership with Eastern Federal Lands. So that project has been shut down until further notice at an approximate cost of $10,000 per day.
Many of these projects that are on hold, has been previously stated, is jobs are now being lost, or people aren't going to be able to receive money in order to put that money back into the economy.
If we don't pay our contractors, they can't keep their people employed.
Even if they produce an extension, the problem is going to be that we will lose this construction season if Congress does not act quickly. And you sum this all up, and it just seems to me that this is a heck of a way to run a railroad.
The Senate voted 78-19 Tuesday night to extend unemployment benefits to an estimated 400,000 people, restore highway and transit funding, and give the furloughed U.S. DOT workers the green light to go back to work. Good news, yes, but those in the transportation industry say it's going to take a long-term bill to bring greater investment, jobs, and a more stable economy.
What we really got is a continuation of existing program. We really didn't get it fixed. The Highway Trust Fund is still broke. We still need more money into the Highway Trust Fund. We still need a long-term authorization of 6 years.
Hopefully you all
During remarks at the Washington briefing Wednesday, March 3rd, U.S. Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood expressed relief that the crisis was over.
We're blessed with a great core of people, and I know that all of them, as they walk in the front door over at DOT today, are glad to be back.
He also attempted to reassure AASHTO members about President Obama's commitment to transportation.
I had a one-on-one meeting with the President this week to talk about transportation, and I want you all to know the President wants a comprehensive, robust transportation bill. We're not giving up on the highways. Look, we've made a huge investment. Why would we do that? But people want other alternatives. They want streetcars. They want more transit. They want more light rail. I know it's easy for people who are not elected to talk about raising the gas tax, because people that are not elected don't have to face the voters. But in a bad economy, when unemployment is just below 10%, we are not going to be talking about raising the gas tax.
AASHTO's Washington briefing drew more than 200 transportation officials and industry experts from more than 30 states to its 3-day conference. Part of the mission for state officials is to visit with their congressional delegations, a task that is critically important, especially today.
They just happen to have all of us here that can really be a loud voice with all the delegations and saying, you have to fix this. So this meeting really is beneficial every year, but this year more so than ever.
One of the panels included all 3 of the nation's top transportation administrators. Extensive coverage of that session and more conference highlights are coming up next week, right here on Transportation TV. That's the Transportation TV News Update. I'm Tony Dorsey reporting.